In a digital world where the line between security and vulnerability is as thin as a single click, the art of phishing email analysis emerges as a beacon of defenses. As we delve into the shadowy realm of cyber threats, join us on a journey to unravel the intricate web of deception, where every pixel and punctuation mark holds the key to safeguarding our digital lives. Welcome to the forefront of cybersecurity, where we decipher the anatomy of deceit in the script of phishing email analysis. We're going to cover today's phishing email analysis. We're going to walk you through step-by-step on how to investigate phishing email analysis on TryHackMe. I'm on the TryHackMe website right now, and you must have an account with TryHackMe, right? So once you log into your account on TryHackMe, you go to the learning path and then you click on practice. It opens up the practice session for you. You have to search phishing and it will pull up the phishing email analysis that we have to go step by step and analyze this email. Now, to begin the step-by-step practice session using TryHackMe as our main practice session, once we are on the TryHackMe session, we need to join this room. So you click on Join this room. Then this will take you to the room that you must initiate and begin the step. Now, this step has been completed. Complete Task 1. So Task 1 will show that it's completed. That is the correct answer. Then we move on to Task 2. So let's drop the task. We need to take our time and read through this session because all the answers will come from this session. Once we go through, we type our answer and hit submit, right? There's some really good learning paths that you can learn from this. It's teaching you about what phishing is. Spear phishing attacks. So we go through the scenario and then this is what is showing. The attacker sends and all the information that the attacker is doing in the attacker domain has been registered with HTML. You go through all this and we get to the session. I would advise that you spend time going through this documentation because it serves as a nice way to learn and know what is really going on. So I've been going through all this documentation. It's time to answer the question. What type of psychological manipulation is this phishing part of? Clearly, when you look at this, they are trying to use fear phishing to target. So it will be part of a social engineering campaign. So the answer, you see the format. You must type it in the format. We show that I'm right in saying that it is a social engineering campaign. So we just type social engineering year, and then once we type social engineering there, all we need to do is to click and submit the answer. Social engineering. So submit now, you have it right? The answer is correct. We move on to the next step. What type of phishing campaign do red teams get involved in? Again, we have to go through this documentation and read it step by step to get the answer. And then the answer is saying that we should submit it in this format. This is just the format we need to submit. So when we look at the next question is what type of phishing campaign do red teams get involved in? All right, like I said, you have to be reading through this. Red is a term that you come across, and the type of phishing company red team would participate in is spear phishing. So let's just copy this and put in the answer. The answer has been provided, so let's put in the answer. Spear phishing. Hit submit. That is correct. So we get a correct answer. We move on to the tech task. Now, the tech task tool, you have to take your time and read through the session. And then we'll answer the question. And the question is, what tasks can be used to find brands or people a victim interacts with? Okay, all right. On task 3, it focuses on writing convincing phishing emails. Like I said, you have to spend time going through this really step by step to understand what the concept is all about. And then he said to find what brands of people or victims interact with. You can employ open source intelligence tactics, for example. It lists all these things, so it's very good material for you to go through. Now let's look at the question session. What tactics can be used to find brands or people victims interactive? We add our answer right here, so we can just copy the answer from here and paste it in the session. Look at the format, which is correct. So always look at the format. You see, we can type it open source intelligently, but the format they are giving is how many characters? 12,345 characters? So instead of using open source intelligence, we must use the short form. So we copy there, we paste, and then we submit the correct answer, right? Then we move on to the next task. What should be changed on HTML anchor tag to disguise a link for this session? It said what should be changed on HTML anchor tag to disguise a link. Now, when you go through the content, like I said, you have to read through it. The answer is right here. You set up a spoof website to others' data or distribute malware. The links to this should be disguised using what? Anchor test. So I think that is the right answer here. So you click the anchor test again. The format which matches the format, and then we submit that is the right answer too. So we move on to the next session, phishing infrastructure. Again, let's go through this session and then we'll look at this task step by step. Alright, for this session, say what part of red team infrastructure can make a website look more authentic. Again, like I said, spend time going through. As we go through the notes and read through the instructions that they've been given, the right answer stands out here. Creating SSL certificate of your choosing domain name will add an extra layer of authenticity to that tag. So that is the answer. So let's try copying and go back to the answer session and paste, always looking at the format. So we hit submit and that is correct. So we move on to the next. What protocol has TXT records that can improve email availability? Again, when we go through the notes, it says setting up DNS records will improve the deliverability of your emails and make sure they are getting into the inbox rather than spam folder. So the question is asking what protocol? And so I think that will be DNS. If it is wrong, we'll get it wrong and then we'll try again. That is correct. Then the last one, what tool can automate a phishing campaign and include analytics? So let's look at now when you go through and read me. It said Go Fish open source phishing framework. You can always right click and open it in another window to go through and look at the site by saying Go Fish is a framework making setting up phishing campaigns more straightforward. Go Fish allows you to store and all that. So right here the answer is Go Fish. Let's try it. If it is wrong, we know it is wrong and then we will check it. That's correct. That completed task number 4. We move on to task number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and we are done. If you want more of this, make sure to watch the next video shown on your screen. I'm sure you'll love it. Thanks for watching.